right. Kentaro Miura, creator of Berserk, a legend, an icon, passed away a couple weeks ago actually. But the news of his passing broke into the states a couple days ago. The family decided to keep his passing under wraps so they can mourn privately. Um, Totally understand that. Um, got You ain't got no choice but to respect that. Crazy. It's crazy, man. I wasn't gonna do this video at first, because I felt like I wasn't I wasn't able to. I didn't have the. I don't want to say I wasn't a real fan. It was just like I wasn't a fan long enough. You know what I'm saying? I finally started Berserk in 2020, so I was late to the party, extremely late. Um, One of my best friends, my brother, Matt. Matt used to talk about Berserk all the time, and I'm talking probably 7, 8 years ago. He would just ask me all the time, like, "Yo, did you read Berserk? Have you started Berserk yet? Did you read it? Oh, you gotta read Berserk, bro. You tripping? You gotta read this. It's the best story I've ever seen. I've ever heard." And I always would like procrastinate. I'm a procrastinator, so I would just put it off. I'm like, "Yo, it's on my to-do list." And of course, with me, my to-do list always collect dust. Um, Again, Matt had asked me in 2020, like, have I seen Berserk yet? When he asked me, I actually had the 1997 um Berserk series on DVD. Like literally, I just got it probably like a week before he asked me, and I told him like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the '97 version and then see if I like it or not. Just to, you know, get a feel of the story. I watched it and I enjoyed it, and I immediately started reading Berserk the manga, and I didn't start reading it where the story left off in the '97 series. I started reading it because the characters were so interesting in the '97 anime that I felt like there had to be more depth than what I saw. They weren't bad on the anime by no means, but I just felt in like my spirit that I'm like, yo, there has to be more to this story, because in anime, especially a 26 episode anime, there's only so much you can fit in there. And all the mangas I would see of Berserk, they look like Bibles. So I'm like, there's no way that you can fit at least the first part of the story into 26 episodes. A lot of things are going to be left out. And I just had a feeling like when I seen Guts, I'm like, yo, this story is tragic, but it gotta be worse than this. Like he probably went through way more hell than what I'm seeing on this anime, and that's what kind of pushed me towards like, all right, I'm not about to start reading the manga from where I left off. I'm gonna start from the beginning of the manga. I just had that feeling of like, yo, I saw the '97 version, I skipped out on the 2000 version. Let me read it, because this is how the story was intended for me to see, to read it. That is the true essence of the story. The anime doesn't do it justice, and I felt that before I even read it. And like I'm new, like I'm a new fan, and I'm reading it, and I'm just like, yo, like this this man wrote some of the greatest characters I've ever seen in any story. I'm talking about in anime and outside of anime. This world, this this how can I put this? His interpretation and his view on karma and just the world, the characters, and the meaning behind everybody's actions and motivations. It was just like, yo, and I'm nowhere near finished, nowhere near caught up. I'm still in the beginning of the manga, and I'm just like, yo, like, Guts is easily, and is, I'll say, a little bit debatable. At this point, I don't even think it's debatable. Guts might be the best protagonist ever in anime. Like, like if you see Berserk 97 on the anime, you be like, all right, you'll feel like, yo, Guts is a great character. But then when you read the manga, you be like, oh, okay, like he's one of them. He's top tier, upper echelon, Mount Rushmore of protagonists in anime history. And I, when I found out that he passed, I was just like, yo, like that's, I just got started. I'm nowhere near caught up. And now I really want to take my time because we don't even know if the story is going to get finished. Which that makes it even more sad, that the fact that he wasn't alive to see his work completed, and see how people react to it. That's crushing for real. But like, I just understood that, like, I had to see the story how it was meant to be seen, and that was through the manga and how he drew everything and how he wrote everything. It's man, this is crazy. I remember I just made a video, I want to say a week or two ago, and it was basically like, anime isn't therapy, and I still believe that. Like, I'm talking about in terms of like fixing actual mental illness. You really need help. But seeing him pass, all I can think about was just kind of like all the people that he probably helped, like, heal for the moment. Like, you having a bad day and I don't know, you can't pay your rent, people disrespecting you, or just any little bad thing, and then just thinking of all his fans getting lost into the art that he made. Like, yo, I know I'm going through some things and I don't have an immediate solution to it, but man, these couple of hours reading Berserk just took me away for a little bit, got my mind clear. I'm just focused on this world and this story for these 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? And that can save somebody's life. Like, somebody can just go off the deep end and, do the worst case scenario. But then you got to think about somebody who actually picked up Berserk and just started reading it and just got lost in the story. Like that, see, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's okay. You still got to get help beyond that. But for those moments like that, like, those mean something. So I can understand if there's his fans out there like crying or unable to process his death. Like, he got them through tough times, man, hard times. Like, can't even imagine what anybody else going through. That's why I try not to judge nobody, like, cause I don't know what they going through, regardless if they quiet or if they real irritable and mean to people. I just try to think like, man, like, are you going through something, before I react or before I judge you. And I can only imagine how his fans feel, especially like his day one fans that have been just with him every step of the way up until his untimely death. Like, that's crazy. And the way they say he passed, I don't know if it was stress related or anything like that. A part of me wanna hope it's not, but I couldn't help but think of like how hard being a mangaka is, because it's literally one of the hardest, most taxing jobs you can ever have. And I don't take it for granted anymore. I remember, like y'all know, I'm a big One Piece fan. I read One Piece manga. I used to, when I first started reading it, I used to be so upset that Oda would take breaks. Like, what do you mean we on break next week? Come on, man. Like, what are you doing? But then once I researched like what mangakas like got paid and what they do and what their days entail, I was just like, whoa, like I was in the wrong. I was like, man, I felt bad. So anytime there was a break, I'm like, hey, I understand. Take your time with it. Your health comes first. You know what I'm saying? Your health comes first. And, you know, ever since then, like I've always been grateful. Just like, hey man, take your time with y'all art. I ain't in no rush, you know what I'm saying? Just take y'all time, man. As long as y'all good and y'all healthy and you feel like doing it, cool. I don't want the story if you gotta sacrifice your health to get the story to me. Like, nah, it ain't worth it. You only get one life, you know what I'm saying? So take care of yourself. But yeah, like I started thinking about how stressed mangakas can be and what they go through, and I was just like, yo, like what if like he did it into the death? Like that's crazy. Like if he was really stressed, like that's mind blowing, man. I just want people to remember, like even if the people who never seen Berserk or people who don't watch anime, this wasn't just like a loss for the anime community. Like I'm a writer. Outside of all this YouTube shit, podcasting I do, I'm a writer first. That is my foundation. That is who I am. That is what I do. I'm a writer. Kentaro is one of the greatest writers ever in mankind, in the history of mankind. He is one of the greatest writers ever. Berserk influences not does not influence. There's shows of anime that are influenced by Berserk, and there's shows outside of anime that are influenced by Berserk. That's how great his writing is. Like, I know the killers. When I say killers, I mean the masterful writers. Kentaro was one of them. He Mount Rushmore of writers. I don't care. Put him up against whoever, he's up there. He is really up there as one of the greatest writers to have ever lived. And then you got to understand this. Berserk is the reason why, in my opinion, that the United States got into manga. A lot of people's first manga in the States was Berserk. And Berserk helped them get into manga in general. And people sleep on that and people forget that. It is the greatest manga of all time. He is the greatest mangaka of all time. So it's just like, yo, you got to give him that respect. Like, again, the influence that Berserk has on not just in anime, but outside of anime, you rarely see that. You rarely see that these days, man. He's one of the greatest writers ever, man. He influenced a lot of stories in the anime culture and outside the culture, man. And like, this is sad, man. Like, this is truly sad, man. I can't believe this happened, and don't even know where the series is gonna go after this. I don't know if the people that he worked with knows his vision of how he wanted the story to end. Either way, whatever decision they make, I respect it. You know, as long as it's along the lines of what Kentaro wanted. If that's what he would have wanted, that's a decision y'all should make and stick with. You know, again, man, it's just trash that he don't get to see his like magnum opus, his, you know, that's his Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? That's his Godfather trilogy. That's his defining work, you know what I'm saying? And he's not here in the physical to see it through, you know what I'm saying? That's crushing, man. That's crushing. But yeah, again, I'm a newbie, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm new to Berserk, and thanks to my best friend Matt for putting me onto it. You know what I'm saying? Now I finally get why for almost a decade he was trying to get me to read it. and like now I understand, and I kind of regret that I didn't that I hopped on so late, you know what I'm saying, that I couldn't enjoy the ride, you know, while he was here, you know what I'm saying, kind of. Now, you know, I'm gonna take my time with it for sure, you know what I'm saying, since I don't know where the series is gonna go, but I'm definitely gonna take my time. But Kentaro Miuara, thank you. Um, I know I ain't a super fan. I know I ain't been around long, but from what I've read so far and what I've seen, hey man, job well done, bro. Job well done, man. That's all I gotta say, man. That's it, man. Just hey, taking one day at a time. Cherish the people around you. Um, do that every day, not just because an icon passed away. Just do that every day. Just be kind, be grateful, and just man, whatever if you got something like that you want to get out to the world in your mind, you know what I'm saying, creatively, anything, just get it out there. Get it out there. Whether it's bad, good, in between, you deserve to see it through. You deserve to have people enjoy it. And Kentaro definitely did that for the short. He was only 54. That's not old, man. He's only 54, and that's crazy. And he did a lot in those 54 years though. And hey man, and I'm pretty sure he didn't take any day for granted, man, because he gave us one of the finest masterpieces to ever grace the universe. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, be grateful, be kind, and just take care of yourselves, man. I'm out.